Okay, so um, today we are going to see how you can configure EM Express at your Oracle database. So for testing, we have a database up and running here. So yes, grab Aura. So our Oracle database is running. We have this. So our listener is up. So the database is up and running. It is a container database, Oracle 19c container database. Okay, so to enable EM Express, we have to first set the port, and really that's pretty much it. So let's first check if the HTTPS port, the port at which the EM Express will be running from, whether it is configured or not. Okay, let's copy it. This command, select dbms xdb config get HTTPS port from duo. So let's log in as sysdba and paste it over here. So the port is not configured. That is why it is showing 0. So if it is a freshly installed database, then this is the default configuration. If you haven't installed EM Express from by default from DBCA, there is an option when you install the database binary, when you configure the database, you can keep the EM Express running from the start, but we did not do so. So right now we will configure the EM Express. So this command is to check if the port for the EM Express is is configured or not. So it is not configured, so we will set the port for EM Express. So the command to set the port number is this exec dbms xdb config set HTTPS port and the name of the port, which is 5500 5500. So you can check which port is available at your system, which whether this 5500 port is free or not at your Linux system or your Windows system. If it conflicts, then you can choose and go with a different port. But for now, this is what we are going with. So, and just paste it over here. So our port is configured. This is all really we have to do. The major task is this. There is nothing much to do, and we have to check if the dispatcher is working properly or not. And before that, if this is an operating system thing, you should check the firewall. I'm sorry. And if SELinux is configured, then check the SELinux configuration as well. But you don't need to really check SELinux. Let me just change it. Mainly, you need the firewall access giving to the server. If the firewall blocks the port, then there is no way for you to access the EM Express, because with the port, your client needs to access the EM Express server through this port, and if a firewall is blocking, then it cannot be done. Okay, so to check the firewall, usually if you are using Linux as your database server, then usually you will turn off the firewall, because in majority of the cases the firewall is used, external firewalls are used. So hardware firewalls or maybe software firewalls, firewall servers are used, but those are not within the database, so they reside outside the database. In our case, firewall is also disabled, so systemctl status firewall so the firewall is inactive, so we don't have to do any worry about firewall. So our port is configured. Let's check if the dispatcher is working properly or not. So SQL plus sysdba show parameter dispatch. So the dispatchers have to check for the service and the protocol. So what essentially dispatchers are is that they are the sort of the software that lets the client connect to the database. Okay, so we check the dispatcher, then let's check the listener. So if the listener is lsnrctl status, so if the listener has picked up the, so this is the new entry for the listener at port 5500. We can expect, so this is a TCPS connection, meaning HTTPS, you have to put HTTPS in front of the EM Express address before connecting. So use this HTTPS : the port number, or if you are using a DNS server, then you can access the database server with your hostname. Okay, in my case we don't have a DNS server configured, so we are going to use this. So the address, web address, then the port number, and the /em. Okay, go to there, paste it over here, and EM Express is running. So here let's put our username. So the username will be system, and the password will be your default password, in our case Oracle, because this is a test system. So keep the container name blank and log in. It's taking some time to get back. So so this is how we can access the EM Express server. And just to get a quick revision, login with system user and keep the container name blank. Okay, so this is something that I have missed, and I just added the point. Okay, so that was our process. So first check if the port is configured. If not, then set the port. And one thing is that you can set it at CDB level as well as PDB level. So for PDB level, if you want to configure another port for PDB level, then you just alter container to the alter database, switch the container to that PDB, meaning SQL plus sysdba alter session set container equals PDB1. So this was the PDB, and then you set your port number here. Okay, so then check the firewall, check the dispatcher, check listener. So pretty much this is the process. So thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.